so much. Thank you.
Audio, you start talking. All right.
We on? Yep. All right, it's Saturday night. Welcome to FV coverage, round 5 action here at ABD Stadium here in downtown Broadmeadows, and it is probably the first statement game of the season, the first barn burner of the season. Did we see last year, Bentleigh Greens and Heidelberg United, they've owned the last 3 seasons, but the 2-club nexus was broken by Hume City in the Doherty Cup last year. I just wonder if that was a portent, Chrissy Gleeson, of things to come, that we might see a new heavyweight on the horizon in the NPL here in Victoria. They've got a chance tonight. They're playing the Bentleigh Greens here at ABT. And this, as I said, I reckon, Chrissy, is a statement game.
Oh, definitely a statement game, especially for Hume City, who have started the season perfectly. The only real blemish on the season so far was a penalty shootout loss to Bentleigh Greens in the Community Shield at the start of the season. But 4 wins from 4 on the bounce, and Hume City looking to make it 5. But if they are going to be one of these heavyweights of the league, they've got to go up against and beat sides like Bentleigh Greens.
It's good to see you, Chrissy. I've wronged you, I know, but hopefully the tone of the night will improve. I'm so looking forward to this one. This is the one where you bounce out of bed in the morning going, oh, I cannot wait for this one. And the other thing is, too, you mentioned Bentleigh Greens and Hume. The rivalry is unbelievable. But how about this? Have you checked out the record that Hume are 2, 7 and 11 all time against the Bentleigh Greens, and their last home and away win was back in 2015. So they've got plenty to play for. The home side, Hume City, clad in red, heading to the left of screen. Chrissy, kick us off, buddy.
That's it. It will be the Bentleigh Greens to kick off. Or is a big Saturday night NPL Victoria fixture. Quite easily, it's a retained pass back to Tennant, who clears. As we quickly go through the starting lineups, Michael Weir in goal for Hume City. Back for Matthew Lazaridis, Hayden Tennant, Paul Wilson and Danny Dixon. And in midfield, it's Ben Bowler, Harry Monaghan and Stephen Hewitt, with Mitch Cooper, James Brown and Josh Bingham leading the line for Hume City. And for the visitors, Javi Lopez, the man in goal, the Spaniard, with the back line of Jacob Alexander, Marco Yankovic, Jack Webster and Matthew Crooks. Corey Sewell in midfield with Kieran Dover and George Lambadaridis. Finn Beakhurst and Damien Iconis closer in attack to Brent McGrath, who has got 3 goals for the season so far.
Very, very windy. We've got the open plains of Broadmeadows on either side of us. It is a flight path, one of the flight paths from Tullamarine Airport. So it's very, very open. When the wind whips around the ground, it's likely to do anything. Took away all my notes before the game, Chris. You were there and you saved me. Well done. Well done.
we actually got Nick Tolios, the manager.
He was a rep. He did.
To go pick it up.
The thing is, he couldn't understand a word I'd written. So it's Hume City, early going, 0-0 scoreline in this match of the round. Absolutely no doubt in my mind. A match of the round. Cooper popped it inside. Arm wrestle, foot race. Bentleigh Greens will turn it away. Bentleigh Greens, I think it's a statement game for them as well, because, oh dear, they've only won 1, and they've that was way back in on opening day against Eastern Lions. They're always there and thereabouts.
Oh, they are. You know, even with Nick Tolios, the new manager, he, you know, the strange season he had with Kingston being relegated and taking Bentleigh to the championship. It's a bit of a fairy tale thing, but he's been able to build his squad this year for Bentleigh, and they've had quite a few changes.
A lot of new faces, haven't they? Webster, the skipper, to release from just over half field, broadcast side, stabs it up the middle. It's a return ball, sort of lazily strokes it back to his goalkeeper. Lopez, who bangs it long and high, spiral into the air, deep into attacking territory. Lazaridis will hook it round the corner, upfield. So 3 quick changes of possession in the early going. I reckon the wind, Chrissy, that we have that's upset our night, really, Chris Gleason. I do apologise. I'll make it up to you. But that wind, I reckon it's favouring that right-hand end to which the Bentleigh Greens are attacking in this first half.
Yeah, it's pretty good for the Red and White Army, the Turkish active support, the Hume Cities. They've got the big flag, so we can have a look over there to see.
They're very loud.
Where the wind's going.
Good on them.
It's been a great addition to NPL Victoria pretty much since the Doherty Cup victory last year that was played at Kingston Heath. They've been coming in pretty decent numbers and adding a bit of atmosphere to these NPL Victoria games. For how long fans can go to these games, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? The old coronavirus. I thought the coronavirus was a hangover after you've had a few too many coronas the night before, but apparently it's something quite different. It's a 0-0 scoreline. It's Saturday night under lights at ABT here in Broady. Unsure in the end. 10 back for and it's Lazaridis who's busy. He spins out of trouble. That was. Jeez, I'm going to lose my notes again, Chris. I'm going. This is not great.
So Blakey's holding on to the notes and.
Look, just to explain, let's be fair. Just before the game, the wind picked up, took all my notes down onto the ground, and then I managed to bash your laptop there, and I've broken that.
My iPad.
I've done really well.
You accidentally knocked it off the scaffolding and it's shattered on the ground.
I've done really well.
Broken my heart just before kickoff.
I'm going to be in debt for the remainder of my life. I think Bowler takes the percentage ball option, just controlling the footy. Hume City, they peeled off 4 straight wins to start the season. Can't get better than that. But I won't say this is their first test, but it's certainly a game they would love to win. It was a wasted ball downfield. Alexander back to his goalkeeper. Not a lot of structure to this game so far, Chris Gleason.
Both sides filling themselves out with, especially trying to adjust to these wind conditions. Must admit, Hume City playing on these Saturday nights quite regular, especially when the winter hits, which has happened a bit earlier this weekend. Oh
yeah, you love being up and up on ABD towers when it's cold, don't you?
Oh, definitely. It's definitely bring the hand warmers. As the ball goes long, Iconis and Tennant fight over it, and coming away with it was Ben Bowler for Hume.
Geez, I tell you what, he was hungry for it, Ben Bowler, wasn't he?
What a real tough tackling part of this British midfield that they've got with Bowler, Monaghan and Hewitt. Can't find Hewitt. Bentleigh get it back through Webster.
Sort of growling and prowling, but not really threatening as Cooper hits the deck, spinning to the ground. So it's going to be a free kick to Hume City in the red, to the left of screen, down toward the city. And how much do I owe you for your laptop? It's going to be a couple hundred, isn't it?
Oh, it'll just be the screen. So
that'd be my pension money gone, Chris.
So we'll just have to get people in the comments who anyone can fix it at the back of a van or something. Just let us know. Help Blakey out.
Please do. So Hewitt will launch it in front of the comps position. Deliberate stutter step stop. Rifles a right footer, top of the box angled, header away. We're still scoreless at ABD between, well, you've got to say these are the new kids on the block. This is George Foreman to Frazier and Ali right now, Hume City.
Oh, definitely it is. And Aidan Tennant was lucky to get away with that back pass. But problems that happen in the Shielders with Bentleigh really pressing high and causing Hume to make these turnovers. No side's really pressed them that hard in the league so far, as Lazaridis will be able to clear into midfield. Over the top goes Crooks, one to battle for, and the ball goes out towards Alexander, and we'll see it out for the throw for the Bentleigh Greens. Scrappy start.
Scrappy start, but it is the barn burner of round 5. Absolutely no doubt about that. A lot of people were talking. I was down at Danny last night, in Dever Hills actually, and a lot of people talking about this one. I reckon it's going to tell a few stories. On the run, Dover. He's brought undone by Hewitt. Very impressive from him. Bentleigh Greens want to come again, but again they're denied, and it's going to be a throw-in too. Bentleigh Greens, 6 of the last 13 trophies here in Victoria. Heidelberg similar, 6, and Hume City, well, they stole a march last year in the Doherty Cup, and there may be more to come for the home side here at ABD tonight.
Yeah, that first major trophy for Hume City, the Doherty Cup. Last year, knocking off the Melbourne Knights by a goal to nil. And
you never forget your first, Chrissy. Don't worry about that.
They'll be definitely remembering that for the rest of their lives, these players, the first.
So 4 straight wins for the start of the season, but right now the pressure's on. Bentleigh Greens corner. Swings in the wind. Launched in the air blindly. Into the hot spot, and a hit and a miss from Webster, I think it was. And in the end, it's caroomed over the bar at that northern end. I can't get my bearings here. That's the northern end, of course it is.
Just took a deflection, so they get another corner, but both Marko Jankovic and Webster had great opportunities. Webster knew that his shot was goal bound and sung out in frustration as the ball cannoned off a Hume defender.
Wind is going to play a part in this because it is starting to gust down the ground toward the right of screen, far post cross, and a bullet header, I think it was Webster, and it just went spearing over the woodwork. So best chance of the game so far, but we've still got goose eggs at ABD, round 5 action. Chrissy Gleeson.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with Webster. He always comes up with 3 or 4 goals a year, and Hume have given him 2 big opportunities in this game so far, and he hasn't been able to get Bentleigh off to the perfect start. It's been a bit of a problem so far in the last couple of games, scoring duck eggs in the 2 fixtures with a 1-0 loss away to Dandy Thunder and been held to a scoreless draw against St Albans, who have been a bit of a surprise packet so far.
Haven't they? What an interesting season it is in that respect. There's so many different permutations at the moment, speculation about who's going to do what in the season proper. Bowler made the charge, it's turned away. Lazaretti's popped one over the top. I'll come up with it again though. Hume City looking dangerous. Hewitt. Change of direction from Hewitt. Took the detour, went straight up Route 1. That's cheeky. Bingham. Launch. Long. Chasing down. Chasing down was Cooper, but he was having none of it. The big defender. Listen to those supporters. They are happy as clams right now.
Bentleigh trying to play their way out of defence. McGrath, a one-time Socceroo. And he wants to take it quickly. The ball's still moving, and the experience he's had, he's not going to get away with that one, especially right under the eyes of the referee that is right in front of him, which is Ionis Zizis, the man in the middle tonight.
Long bomb forward from Webster. The ball out of play, compliments of sorry, not Webster, that was Webster. And my notes nearly went, I've got to put something down here because otherwise every piece of, I've got to get electronic technology because that doesn't blow away, that just gets knocked off tables. I'm so sorry, Chrissy. I'm so sorry. And the free kick called, it should have let the play go on, I reckon then. Still no score. First on the ladder, Hume City looking to make it 5 straight to start the campaign. We saw Avondale though last year, didn't they? They were belting away as well.
It's been Bowler over the top, looking for Bingham in the channel. He gets there in front of Webster. Now we just need support, and he finds that in Matthew Lazaridis. He's all left foot, so he wants to get on that outside. Back to Bingham. As Bentleigh put plenty of numbers back, and they get the ball here through Alexander. The outlet for them is Damien Iconis out wide, but Paul Blocker Wilson cuts it out. Now Beakhurst. Now Brent McGrath to push it forward. And in the end, he's going to get another corner. As Monahan tried to keep it in play.
Monahan, a look of frustration as the ball just bounced away from him. A powerful run then from McGrath. Backed himself, but couldn't quite get around the defender. And we wait for Alexander to make his way up for the corner. Old Just talk amongst yourselves. He'll get there eventually. It's a scoreless game here on a Saturday night, part of round 5 action. There's a couple of other matches either completed or underway as well tonight. So it's a big weekend. Near post corner, angled glancing header clear. Bouncer, holding his ground, was Crooks. Oh, look, he's nearly played himself into trouble. The percentage ball back from Beakhurst to his goalkeeper. Wonderful pressure then coming from Cooper. He was just galloping around, keeping them all honest. It's a 0-0 game. Long loft, right, left. Lazaridis can't draw it in. Bentleigh Greens will half clear. Alexander goes to ground spectacularly. And it's going to be Bentleigh Greens' ball. I hope he's all right.
That's the lower division Englishman tackle. That one there from Ben Baller right through the back of Queenslander Alexander. But just going around the ground's a bit of a shock at the moment because Altona Magic 1-0 up against South Melbourne with 5 minutes to play.
Holy moly.
So looking to get their first points of the season. We did see earlier today Eastern Lions got their first point when a 0-0 draw against St.
Which is good on them too, the boys in the GT stripes.
Much better performance from them last week, and the only GT that's going on at the moment is the Eastern Lions shirt.
Yeah, it's been interesting with this coronavirus or bird flu or parvovirus. They come around every 4 years. Angling. There's McGrath, got nowhere to go. Hits his skipper, loses about 10 metres on that, squeezing it down that right lane. No, just a couple of degrees off and it bounced out of play, and it's going to be a Hume City. Well, you know what, Chrissy, I'd be really wary about having any devices around me. I've already broken one. You're laughing now. I don't want to take your mobile out as well.
If you don't laugh, you cry, Blake.
I am so sorry. Officially on air on FE live streaming, I've busted your screen, and I'm sorry. I really, really am. I feel I can trade. Listen, I'll tell you what, I'll trade them at 2-0.
You got a Walkman?
I've got a 2001 Camry that I'd sell. It wouldn't be worth the screen money, though. It's 0-0.
Well, it's 1-1 over at the other game, too, because South Melbourne, as we've just spoken, has equalised as switching of the ball out wide for Bentleigh. Lambatarides find a teammate. It's Kieran Dover to Alexander. Hume camped on the edge of their box.
Well, got a lot of the footy, but they're going nowhere right now to Bentleigh Greens. They've been a remarkable club, Bentleigh Greens, over the past 4 or 5 years. There's been a few significant changes of faces over the journey, but they just maintain their place in the upper echelon all the time. They're an ever-present threat, and they're threatening right now. Alexander pummeled it into the defender. It's going to be a quarter to the Bentleigh Greens, and down there at Kingston Heath. Long journey up here tonight from Kingston Heath. ABD Stadium looking an absolute picture, Chris Gleason. It's beautiful. Oh, bounce into the hot spot, turn around the corner for the second time. Bentleigh Greens are denied in that red zone. They're going to get the footy, though.
It's been a big thing with Hume with their strong defensive record so far. Only conceded 2 goals so far. Is how many blocks and how many numbers they get in and protect their goalkeeper. They're so desperate in defence, and they had to be so far because they've been on the back foot with this Bentleigh side that looked to attack again through Beakhurst. Left the ball a little bit short.
Well, Bentleigh Greens have only conceded a couple as well. They're just not scoring them.
They try to get a chance to get shot off, and look at all the red numbers in front of him. They get it clear.
It's like a drunk trying to negotiate Collins Street at peak hour then. Racing away is Brown. James Brown into the box. No support and hammers it wide of the near post. And he'll be disappointed. Just got a rush of blood then. Didn't make the calibrations he might like. Should have done better, Chrissy.
Well, Jankovic did well to force him a little bit wider than what he would have liked, but still you've got to test the goalkeeper in those situations. A big let-off at the other end, and after a scrappy start, the game's starting to open up a little bit more.
I'm loving it, and I'm feeling good about the world because, as I said, this is the first barn burner of the year. It's the first statement game. The result here is going to count for plenty, I suspect. Hume City, if they... and I think that was Alexander. The Tony Award goes to, because that was a spectacular kind of frog-like leap into the air, but he'll get the free kick anyway. I suppose it was there, but back in my day, Chrissy.
luckily, I think he was trying to dive into the box to con the referee that's where the foul was taking place. But it's going to set up a great opportunity for Bentleigh with another set piece, which they've already showed how dangerous they are from so far, with especially big Jack Webster, who's been the ever-presence in this Bentleigh side for a decade now.
Unbelievable that Hume City haven't beaten Bentleigh Greens in a regular season or in finals since 2015. What a remarkable run that's been. They'd love to bust it tonight, but right now they're on the back foot and just paddling to stay afloat as Bentleigh Greens free kick. 45-degree angle, grandstand side. Alexander takes it, scooping left footer. Dangerous ball away by Monaghan, who just bent low and bounced the header away for clearance. Bentleigh Greens will come again. They're starting to get a bit of a foothold here, the Bentleigh Greens.
Oh, they definitely are. Putting a lot of pressure on this Hume City defence so far in this game. As Alexander would take the throw. No real options short for him for the moment. Dothan makes one. Gets it back. Now Lambatarides. Now they'll work it through the captain, Jack Webster. Hume City with everybody back, sensing they've been on the back foot. Trying to win it back here is Hewitt, and he's fouled by Sewell. Hume want to take it quickly, and
now it's firing, haven't it? Hey, it's on the boiler now. That's what happens in big games, Chrissy.
Just Stephen Hewitt, that won't be the first time he'll be fouled tonight. Real inspirational midfielder, pulls the strings there in the heart of this Hume City team.
Look.
Scored from about 4 kilometres last week against the Melbourne
I saw
Knights.
that, and I heard the commentator's head explode. It was a stunner, wasn't it? And good call. Who was calling that one?
Josip Herzog.
He did really well. He got it. He was up for it. Hopefully more of that tonight. Oh, good stuff through Crooks was really good. He's run the gauntlet and finally got the quick release. Outside runner is Beakhurst, and he belts it. The defender was all over it like a seagull on a hot chip, and it's out of play. That was Lazaridis that took the hand grenade for Hume City. It's a scoreless game on this Saturday night. ABD Stadium looking a treat. The Hume supporters are up and going, and don't worry about Bentleigh Greens. They've come to players. 0-0. Just keep your lip. I want to cry when I look at your tablet, Chrissy. Alexander's corner goes very, very deep and too long, and it floated and it sat and it bounced and it just wandered away from the danger zone. 0-0, Chris Gleeson and I feel terrible.
Chris Gleeson and Greg Blake, who who's in disbelief at the moment.
I was looking forward to the game. I was so excited I broke your tablet. So the referee just having a little chat with Bingham, I think it was. Not sure what I think he was just asking where he got his very fashionable top. It was the Hume City top, ref. You can get one if you want. Don't know what I'm talking about. It's
old good Broadmeadow stores.
Yes, you'd think so. It's a very fetching looking top. They
have got the sponsorship with the Broady Shopping Centre now.
Have they really?
So you see their advertisings on the big screens.
Better get down there.
Shops.
Is that near Kmart?
Well, it's just up the road from here. I'm not sure if they got a Kmart there, but
no, I got lost when I was getting here tonight. I'm not travelling well, am I? I've broken your computer and I got lost in the Kmart car park.
Shouts for a foul throw there, and I don't blame the Bentleigh bench for shouting that. Hume will hold on to the ball though. Stephen Hewitt quickly closed down, and here's the break on for Bentleigh. Numbers forward, and it's Beakhurst. On the blind side is Lazaridis.
Oh.
May have fouled him in the build-up there, and the referee will come back to that.
Oh, I reckon Beakhurst got just a little bit lucky then, because he just dwelled on the footy a little bit too long, but he's got the free kick. So
you see Lazaridis like a cheater coming from the blind spot, trying to pick him off. And
I like Lazaridis. His game so far very impressive.
It's been a good signing from Hume City after long association with Pascoe Vale. Coming across this big ground at Hume City, which is one of the biggest grounds in the league, really suit his pace.
There's plenty of discussion out there. Hewitt is in a nest of Bentleigh Greens players, and they're all just having a little discussion about circumstances. It's a scoreless game. It's round 5. FV live streaming action. Chris Gleeson and what's left of Greg Blake on deck under lights tonight. It's a Saturday night. I'll never live this down.
Well, they got a great opportunity with the wind advantage too. With
it's really starting to blow down to that right-hand end, isn't it? First half action. Deadlock yet to be broken, but the game is building, I reckon. Some Reedies, he belts one, Lambardoridis, I should say. Hoiked away. So that perhaps the outcome wasn't what they might have hoped. I'll tell you what, Bentleigh Greens right now have impressed me because their season start's been roller coaster at best. They haven't won for 3 weeks. But they've come up here knowing they're playing a 4-0 team, and they are well up to their necks in it, aren't they?
Oh, they definitely are. Even last year, I think it was a 3-0 victory that they came here and smacked Hume pretty convincingly with some of the best football I've seen in the NPL. And you know, Hume have been defensively quite strong in this game so far, but they've been on the back foot for a good part of the opening 24, 25 minutes of this game.
Hume City supporters are just loving this.
They've got to jump around and keep warm. Maybe we might do the same in the second half, Blakey.
Absolutely. I'll do anything you want tonight, Chris. Don't worry about that. I owe you big time, buddy. Oh, that was cheeky. Picked off by Lazaridis, though. Oh, that was a bit wasteful. He just gave it straight back to Bentleigh Greens, and they're going to earn a throw from that little foray forward. Crooks scampers across, angles the throw back for Sewell. So they play the percentages, run it round the Cape. Yankovic, off they go again. Patient by Bentleigh Greens now. In front of the grandstand on that far side. Saturday night action, and Bentleigh Greens taking time off the clock, but moving it very slowly anywhere right now. They've been camped. They've lost about 20 metres, and they're still trying to get a release ball. Nowhere to go for Lambardoridis. Webster, unsure, ambitious. It's going to get picked off, I think, by Dixon, it might have been. And a double turnover. Alexander, he's been in everything, hasn't he? Goes straight up Route 1. Bentleigh Greens threatening again, nowhere to go. McGrath almost stumbled over the footy, and the looper, oh, the bounce away. That was like a leg break then. And the goalkeeper, Weir, he's looking at it, and all of a sudden it was angling away to his left, but he took it cleanly. Still no score, Chris Gleeson.
You could see how nervous he was when he was seeing that ball spin. It was like a deucer or something from Matthias Maduri. Ruland thinking, which way is this going to spin? And had to wait for it.
I've got it.
A good cricketer played it on the back foot.
I've got it. Yeah, no, I've got it. Oh, dear. Scoreless game. It's a beautiful little stadium. You know what I like about the NPL in Victoria? I like the stadiums. I think there's some little beauties around the place. You just enjoy being there. You like feeling part of the place. Scoreless game. Don't like breaking things, though, when you're there. It's not a good thing. Oh, dear.
We're just trying to get to breaking news, but it still seems like the Altona Magic South Melbourne game is still continuing into stoppage time.
Look at you on your device. Wilson, inferred pressure became real pressure. Wilson again.
It's a horrible mistake.
Both sides are defensively very effective at this point. Oh, the launch, the round the body left foot from Dover was charged down. It's going to be another corner. Bentleigh Greens, they're threatening.
Well, they are. Just Hume City getting caught in possession in midfield quite too easily. There's been 4 or 5 times that Bentleigh have started counter-attacks by winning the ball so high up at the pitch. Sometimes Hume City just got to clear it, just got to get it up the other end a little bit, especially when they're going against this breeze, because they're just playing into Bentleigh's hands so far.
So corner to the visitors. Alexander takes it, sweeps it into the sweet spot, but nothing doing. Charging at it was Webster. He won't give it away cheaply to Skipper, but it's going to be a Hume ball. They've got to restart into that breeze, which is picking up as the game goes on, I shouldn't say that. It was enough to sweep my notes down the ground before. I can tell you, I knew where the wind was blowing. It was to the right of the screen. Have a look at that sunset over Broady. That sounds like a book title, doesn't it? Sunset over Broady, like Chris Gleeson.
Sounds like a documentary to me. One of those crime scenes.
Oh, Cure Cemetery at midnight, you know. Yeah, I'm with you. 0-0 game here. Oh, it's on after. It was on after the play. Have a look at that. Eyeball to eyeball. You gotta love it. Now we're getting serious, Chrissy.
Oh yeah, that was. I think it'd be hard for Bingham to escape a card from that. He was never going to win that challenge, and made sure he pushed Jack Webster, the inspirational captain for the Greens, to the turf, and Nick Tolios and Nick Hegarty having a good laugh at each other. Two managers.
So they've taken the pot off simmer, and now it's getting exactly as you'd expect. A couple of big time old dogs going at it. that eyeball to eyeball, about 3 inches away from each other. You got to love it. It's on like Donkey Kong, Chrissy. 0-0. Hume and Bentleigh Greens tonight.
It's McGrath is up for the header. Comes off him. It'll be a goal kick to Michael Weir.
Donkey Kong. Nobody plays it anymore. Just letting you, I'm saying.
So that was a great game when I was a kid.
It was very popular.
It was a great game when you were in your 30s.
It was a great game, yes. When I was in middle age, thanks. Yeah, no, you're quite right. Oh dear. You can take any pot shots you like tonight. I've just got to lick my whip.
I've got a free range tonight. So
you got about 6 weeks worth, Chrissy.
Make sure we're paired every week going forward now, Blakey.
Oh dear. No score. We've had it. Well, perhaps a prelude to the rest of the game, because it's getting hotter and hotter in the kitchen. Handball, nothing doing. Bentleigh Greens certainly given us a show so far. Lopez lofts one. Don't think he knew too much about that Wilson, but it's going to skid back to his goalkeeper.
Once again, look how deep James Brown is to try to pick the ball up, and he had 2 Bentleigh players around him. I think just Michael Weir just has to clear this and look for Bingham, which is exactly what he tried to do. Cooper gets there first.
Oh.
See, sometimes you just got to kick it long. It's a pretty uncomplicated game sometimes.
Yes.
Bentleigh do get it back though. Once again against Brent McGrath. He's got a great Socceroo story. He come on for Australia for 2 minutes in stoppage time, and a victory for the Socceroos over Germany back in 2010. So, not that he did much for that, help that result, but he got on the pitch all the same.
Yeah, hey, it all counts. He was there. We weren't. He's got one on us. Bentleigh Greens. Well, he lurched after Iaconis and he just stumbled to the deck. Hewitt. Oh, the foot was high, but no intent, obviously. Hume City, they've had very sparse opportunities in the front third, and they won't this time either. The errant ball forward, and this bloke, Alexander, he's been very, very busy. He's an impressive unit, isn't he?
Yes, I definitely see him as being one of the best left backs in this competition, especially coming down from NPL Queensland a couple of years ago. John Anastasiadis, the coach at the time, and he doesn't really get many signings wrong, does John? And that's why he's got the opportunity with Western United now.
So the biggest game of the round, it hasn't produced any action on the scoreboard. We're still rocking and rolling. Beakhurst driving run, boom, and he gets the hit after the play. Ref lets it go, good stuff. Chance for Bentleigh Green, shot across the body, left foot by Lambertaridis. And it wasn't far away, but an unceremonious dropping of the shoulder. We've got players going down. I love this, Chrissy. Go and put your iPad out there, though.
I think Bentleigh want their cake and eat it too, because a good advantage was paid by the referee. Let it go on to get the shot, and when the shot went wide, they were all calling for that free kick back. Yeah, no, good call. Let it roll, ref. It's a big game. It's a collision sport. You put 22 magnificent athletes out on a field that size, people are going to get knocked over, Chrissy. I know this. The referee's done a good job. He's let a bit of the physical stuff flow, and he's played some good advantages and produced the cards when he should. So, good start from the ref and a good start from both sides in in this game so far.
Oh, I like it. I'm excited, Chris. I'm all a tingle. It's the biggest game of round 5. Alexander again. Bentleigh Greens. They've certainly forced the contest to this point. Crooks angles away from the traffic. The outside man's Beakhurst. Again, that loping gait of his. Just halts and toe pokes. And if we go Sewell. Well, they've managed to exchange passes, about 9 of them, and it's come to naught again. They'll get it back. Chance on the turnover. People stumble to the ground. No free kicks there, surely. Lambatteridis hooked away spectacular by Wilson. Gee, this is a good one.
He's living up to his name, Blocker Wilson, because that's about the 4th interception he's made where Bentleigh have tried to strike on goal. Yankovic over the top. Michael Weir will slow things down for Hume City.
If you can't enjoy this, Chris, you can't enjoy life. It's 0-0 at ABD on this Saturday night, round 5 of the NPL here in Victoria. And you're the best caller ever, Chris. You are the best.
Some say with my one game I was the best caller Heidelberg TV's ever had. So.
Oh, look, we were the dream team in that game. Oh, don't worry about it. Beakhurst hits the second gear, angles it for his teammate. He's hit the deck and he's holding his, I think it's his right ankle or right lower leg. Doesn't matter, play goes on. Dixon belts it into the night sky. It's a double bounce. Oops, a daisy. That was ugly. But they'll keep the footy, Bentleigh Greens.
Well, there were certainly shouts from the Bentleigh bench for a penalty there, but there wasn't much from the player fouled in Damien Icona. So in the end, the referee let it go, and we keep going with Hume City now. Bingham makes the run forward. Gets it now. Now they've finally got a bit of room in midfield. Bentleigh for Hume City. Tries to find the pass, and it was Brown again for Hume, but it's cut out, and away go Bentleigh. That
was a squillometre off the money for James Brown. You know, I'll tell you, this is my feeling on this game, Chrissy Gleeson, is right now, Hume City know that they are the top dogs. They are 4-0 on the season. Right now they're trying to stave off a Bentleigh Greens team that wants to reclaim at least some currency in this 2020 season. It's a wonderfully engaging, psychological, physical struggle. We ain't got goals, but we've got each other, Chris, and we've got this at ABD on a Saturday night.
Although Hume have been on the back foot, this wind advantage is definitely is as we wait with Bentleigh at the moment.
Swinging and
changes so quick like that.
Well, he had no balance really, and he just had a whack at it and went North Korean rocket style into the ABD group sign at the behind the goal.
And lucky they got the car park that end so you can get the balls back, but at the other end, not many players are going to want to chase the ball down to Broady Valley.
No, I don't think there's bears down there or something. I don't know, snakes and
drop bears or
yeah, all sorts of stuff. Scientific experiments being carried out by the government probably. It's I don't know what's down there, to be honest with you. I'm not going to look either, Chris.
It's Area 51 down there pretty much.
So, still scoreless here at Broady tonight. The Hume crowd just a little quiet now, a little subdued. They've been raucous in the early going. But we're on tenterhooks at the moment. Dover tried to scamper away. That was wonderful stuff by Dixon then. He really read that well, and he wins the throw-in. Top stuff.
He's definitely probably the most versatile player in the NPL, Danny Dixon. He's played in all positions for the clubs he's played for over the last few years, from striker to winger, and he's played central midfielder, centre-back, and now he's found his spot at Hume City as a fullback.
You know, this has been a really good game. This is engaging, and yet there's been so few chances.
Just one of those real physical battles where both sides won't give in.
Well, there'll be a few more whacks handed out. There's going to be some ice.
Type
it is actually, yeah. There'll be a few bruises and a few ice packs tonight, I reckon, on this Saturday night round 5 action. In a season that right now is riding so many, it's conjuring up so many mysteries. There's no clear and apparent pacemaker. Actually, there's Hume. I've just got to learn not to speak sometimes. We're at APT on a Saturday night. Lazaridis, been impressive. Waits. Percentage ball. Hewitt launches it. See it hit the wind. Right there, it's like an invisible wall. It just hit the wind and was going no further. But I'll come up with the footy. Hume City. And I'll get the throw in.
They've done a good job, Bentleigh, where they've brought Corey Sewell into the starting lineup tonight. And he's pretty much shadowing Stephen Hewitt, who's been a big part of why Hume have been so successful this year. And every time he tries to drop a bit deeper and create for Hume City, he's got Sewell at his back.
Monahan kept the pressure on. They might get the break on. Sprinting for it, all three of them. In the end, it's Bingham, nowhere to go, or is he found an angle where there was none, and it's just powered off the perimeter of that 6-yard box. That was great stuff. I'm crediting Monahan, the skipper, then, because he just kept the pressure up, turnover, and almost the best chance of the game.
Oh, it definitely was there for Bingham, who went past the keeper, but then the angle was too tight for him to be able to try to find the target, try to play it back to a teammate, and ball's found its way out as...
It was a bit Thelma and Louise, because by the time he managed to fetch the ball in, he was near the cliff. There was nowhere to go. Thelma and Louise. Does anybody even know that movie anymore? It's got Gina Davis. It was a wonderful movie. It's a corner at the tree-lined tree end of the ground. Hewitt to take it. Consider it. One step, danger zone, pops around, bobbles around, ball high away by Bentleigh Greens. Nobody knew much about that. Hewitt, steps away from the tackle, was beautiful, and he launched it and gave the goalkeeper work to do. And the goalkeeper did the work requisite of the circumstances. Thrill a minute. Handbrakes off, I reckon, Chris.
Yeah, well, Monahan will be a bit disappointed with that. With the initial cross, he had the free header that he headed away from the goal and canned it off his own teammate. In the end, Bentleigh survive. So they try to pass their way. That's what championship sides do there, Blakey. To find their way out of trouble and then do a very simple block. And
don't you hate it? Don't you hate it when they do that to you? Because you're unequivocally beautiful and lyrical in the way you were describing it, and they buggered it up. Anyway, it's a scoreless game. Hasn't been your night, has it? Sorry, Chris. Anything you want. Right. Anything you want. I'll take you out on the town in Broady.
It's all right. I've got a bottle of Chivas at home waiting for me, mate. So.
Who's living the high life? Oh, jeez, it's nearly happened again. Nearly lost my notes again, Chris. It is on a knife's edge as we head toward half-time. We've got a time call on this because I can't see the...
We're right next to the scoreboard, so everyone home can see, but we're around the 40th minute mark.
That was a guess, wasn't it?
I've got the app in front of me.
Beautiful. Look at that, Lazaridis. That was magnificent stuff. He was bold and brave, and he's won the day in the form of a throw-in. Inside attacking half. Loses about 10-15 metres. Bowler squares the ball. Oops, a daisy. Man on, and he knew it. So Hume City, as we edge toward half-time in a ripping struggle to 4-0 rimfire starters. It's going to be a Bentleigh Greens ball. You know, for all the puff and puff and everything else, they've only created a couple of half chances. Hume City, I'm sorry.
So both goalkeepers in this game haven't been tested yet.
That's a very good point.
A few blocks on the line and a bit scrappy. Both defences are doing their job so far. Hume like to push forward through Bowler. Now Lazaridis.
Do you reckon they're keen to put the accelerator down before the break, or do they go in now happy with having a piece of the contest? It's an intriguing one. and Cooper, he spent a significant amount of time on the deck in this first half. You know, every blade of grass at ABT sat on his backside, but well worth the effort. There's going to be a free kick to Hume City, who are playing into a fairly significant breeze that's blowing to right of screen down the ground.
So Javi Lopez has to really decide if he's going to come or not with this. It's going to drop a bit short with the wind, so...
You would think Hewitt, stutter step, he'll stop and go. And again, lovely free kick, almost just out of the reach of the goalkeeper. But Lopez did well in the end. He's only tiny.
Yeah, the Spaniard has come across. I believe he's got a pretty decent pedigree playing in, I believe at one stage, the second division in Spain and more lower third and fourth divisions.
He milked it and he won it, but he's still only tiny though, Lopez.
Yeah, he's only a small goalkeeper, but it's been an excellent signing because Ryan Scott obviously getting the opportunity to play at Western United, and he will play a bit of A-League now that Kurtzo, the number one goalkeeper, has gone down with an injury, so Scott will get his opportunity at the big time in Australia, which is well deserved.
Well, it's been a blistering first half. The rampaging 4-0 Hume City and the evergreen. There you go. Did you see how I did that? Green, you see? Bentleigh green, yeah. Holy moly. You're not going to like me ever again. The Bentleigh Greens, well, they make a contest every single year, and right now they're fighting to stay within looking distance at least of the top six. So it's a big game for them.
They are just on the edge of the six at the moment, Bentleigh, but we're disappointed not to get points against St Albans at home last week. They had plenty of opportunities to score and they were quite dominant in fact, but St Albans were able to hold on in the end. They fired blanks on the last two games of Bentleigh. Yes,
they have. And they haven't won since opening day of 220. I thought he was going to hit the deck again.
Seen that with Cooper and Damien Iconis for the Greens. They've stumbled on their legs a little bit at the moment.
It's good stuff. Oh, we are deep in the depths of
you've brought it up with a heavyweight fight. Both of them are a bit punch drunk at the moment.
It's been a ripping battle, this one. And there's plenty to come, so at half time you want to go and grab your snacks and your beverages. That was really good work then, Lazarus. Really impressed with him. He's been good. He waits and angles out toward the line, squeezes it down that left lane.
That's one thing Hume City have really struggled with, particularly last season, was having that big, strong striker in their squad, and they've definitely got one now with Bingham and even Andy Brennan, who can play up top or out wide. He's on the bench tonight for Hume. And
you know your stuff, Chris. You're the best commentator I know.
Oh, high foot from Dover. Not going to get away with that one.
Yeah, it's a difficult one because it was just at that height where you think, I can get this. Don't worry about it.
Stephen Hewitt definitely was able to sniff the leather of the boot there. So it went across his face.
So have we got a little bit more of this narrative to write before the interval. It's scoreless on a Saturday night under lights at ABD FV live streaming. And we got the big one, Chris Gleeson and Blakey on deck.
Stephen Hewitt with his free kick late in this half. Once again, he likes that stutter.
He does, doesn't he?
You see the wind really take that away from Wilson, but he'll be the first one to it.
Yeah, just that invisible wind pocket. So that will be favouring, of course, I was just tuning out. Then that'll be fun. That wind is favouring Bentleigh Greens in the first half.
I thought I'd be polite and let you finish your sentence.
I just for a minute there I zoned out. I think it's just that sense of guilt.
There's 1 minute to go.
There he
is. Just gone up.
It's very polite of you to wait, but next time just jump on in, Chrissy.
It's Michael. We will see it out. I think Hume will be the more happy of the two sides. They've been managed this first half against his very strong Breeze. They'll have it in the second half and to go into the sheds at level.
Yeah, but having said that, I wonder psychologically where the Bentleigh Greens go in and say they're not so big and bad. They're gettable. It used to be warm in there because it's starting to get a bit chilly upstairs here at AVD Towers. I don't know how the cameraman upstairs. He's probably frozen to the spot.
Well, it's a bit strange, this cameraman, because I did quite a few games with him last year and he's one cameraman who films in a jumper, not a jacket. So we'll try to thaw him out for the second half. It's half time here now, Blakey.
The shutters come down on a ripping first half. No goals to speak of, but plenty of action. It's scoreless at half-time. Chris Gleeson, quick summary.
Well, a strong wind advantage, but Bentleigh Greens definitely had the better of that first half. They pressed really high, created Hume City to have some turnovers in some pretty dangerous areas, and unfortunately for them, Hume City really well defended those shots. They had a lot of blocks in that, and as we saw, it was a lot of corners for the Bentleigh Greens in that first half. A couple of times Hume were able to break and have opportunities, Bingham with a chance later in that half, but in the end, Bentleigh probably had the better of the first half.
I'll just be careful about.
We're live.
And we're back at ABT on this Saturday night, 45 to come. And the matchup was much anticipated coming into round 5 of the competition. FV live streaming. We've got a restart, and it's going to be the Bentleigh Greens with the footy to start. Hume City to start the second half. Red and green should never be seen. That's an old saying. Oh, it's almost sprinting clear was James Brown, and he got taken out, and there was no call.
I actually think the referee did the right decision there, because the sliding challenge did win the ball, and then it came off Brown's leg. So the talent challenge won the ball. So I can see why the referee didn't give it.
So you just wonder where this game's going, Chris Gleeson.
It's been quite a strong battle between the two sides so far, as Bentleigh looks to break through McGrath and Beakhurst, and Hayden Tennant, who as he's been so often this year, has cut it out.
Oh, that was cheeky. That was good. That was wonderful, and angling away as McGrath, he powers clear. Player down behind the play. Nothing called. Chip ball into no man's land. Bentleigh Greens should clear, and they do. That breeze has not abated whatsoever since we broke the coverage at half-time. It's gusting down to the right of screen. Favouring the home side, the 4-0 home Hume City. Early second half action. Chris Gleeson and what's left of Greg Blake on deck.
There's still plenty left.
I'm going to give you a hug afterwards, because I feel terrible still. What a night it's been.
We can have a hug from about the 70th minute mark to keep warm, mate.
Yeah, coronavirus, so you got to look out for that. Never know what I'm carrying. Oh, look at that. He was mauled, was Cooper then. He's only small, he gets in and under, turned over. Bentleigh Greens trying to rumble clear through McGrath. He angles adjacent to the half line, goes up Route 1 and cheap turnover. Tennant, easy ball away. Long bouncer into the front half. Alexander's in everything. That was terrific stuff there, no, by Hewitt. He just got his toe to the footy. And so what's happening here? The referee's going over to have a word. Now, what do you reckon that's about, Chrissy?
So that was from the foul from Cooper, went down in the build-up a few minutes ago. So that was the first break in play. It's taken a few minutes for the ref to... He's got a good memories.
Oh, yes. And I'm not sure I'm comfortable with a lot of the rules these days. But anyway, fair enough. I've got to get with the times, Chris, I do. It's a 0-0 game in the battle of, the heavyweight champions, or one of them, Bentleigh Greens, against the wannabes, the contenders, Hume City. It's in terms of, we'll have a look at the live ladder in a minute, in terms of what we've seen so far this weekend. Hume City, obviously, if they can chalk up a W, they'll stay clear leaders. Great challenge, great slide in then from Tennant just to cover the danger. It's going to be a throw-in right in front of the commentary position, pretty much where all my paperwork landed earlier in the night. Alexander just trundles up to take the throw. He cribbed a couple of metres, he got away with it, launched it down that left lane, knocked inboard and knocked away. Wilson, that was.
Also looks like in the other live game, which kicked off a little bit later in the NIS, it's 37 minutes played. Avondale 3, Melbourne Knights 1. They went to a 3-0 lead after 15 minutes with goals from Ahmed Valentini and Stefan Zini. And just 5 or 6 minutes ago, Knights pulled one back as Hume looked to try to do the same. The
Avengers are back in town, obviously. Starting to peel off a few results as well. It's a really engaging season in the sense that apart from Hume City, and we're seeing they're travelling tonight, but so many sides are putting their hand up to be in the frame this year, and it's good for footy in 2020. 220 is not a thing. Oh, it was in the year 220, I suppose. It's a long time ago, Chris.
Bentleigh go back, as you say, with a bit of the live ladder. Hume City with Oakley, a bit of a surprise loss last night against Green Gully, who played some brilliant football in their 3-0 victory away from home. So Hume City with that little break on everybody at the moment. You know, if they can nick a goal in this second half, they can really extend a bit of a break at the top, which will be quite handy.
Isn't that an odd one? Green Gully, they were looking at a 3 straight lost start to the year. They staged that comeback against Heidelberg, and now they've continued their form against Oakley. It's a wonderful season.
That's it, winning against some real heavyweights too.
Absolutely. Well, you know, on early form, Oakley were right up there in the picture as well, but they've had their pants pulled down by Green Gully. So anything could happen this season. Big whack by Webster. He actually had it searing through that breeze. It just stayed low enough to get some distance on it, and they're going to get the footy. I'm freezing. I'm dead set freezing.
Come here, Blakey. Come here.
My claws are stuck to the table.
It'll be like the Titanic on the edge of the Titanic, holding each other like that, mate.
There was, you know, she could have let him on that. But there was more room. She had plenty of room.
Definitely could have fit.
For old Jack. Blub, 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 down he went. Titanic is this struggle, that's for sure. Bentleigh Greens going back to Lopez, their goalkeeper. He's just a hop and a step outside his own penalty area. They're going to have to restart again from that northern end of ABD. The surface and the little stadium look absolutely beautiful under lights.
It's a great facility and one of probably the best pitches going around too.
Alexander had to stretch and arch his back to reach that one. Did really well. Dogged determination. A driving Alexander. Pops it into the path as Lombardides, I think it is. He cuts it back. Chance for Bentleigh Green. So they're back to goal. Alexander might finish what he started. Oh, hit the hole. Found a hole. Found a gap. Angled the shot straight into the waiting mitts of Weir. That was terrific stuff by Alexander. I like him too.
Yeah, fantastic work by the full-back as Hume City again trying to find...
He just wanted it more to rest. He said, I'm going to find it. I'm going to find a way, he said.
Sometimes those rebounds come back to you when you're in there trying to fight for it for a little bit more than the other player, where they sort of take their foot away a little bit, not wanting the real hard contact, and Alexander got the opportunity to get a shot on goal, but all the sting was taken out of it using his right foot, which is his wrong foot.
So, still no goals in the match of the round, but plenty of drama, plenty of chance. I reckon there's a couple of goals in this one, because I'm predicting this.
I think we will see a bit more action here in the second half, and it's Beakhurst with the Bentleigh Greens. Flashes the cross in by Iconis. Still fights for it. On the snapshot, Iconis, and again Hume City get numbers in to block it, take the sting out of it.
But how good was Dixon in that exchange? He just held his ground. They were clambering around him. Alexander, well, he didn't get the clean turn away, but he did really well. Changed the direction, 90-degree turn, short ball for a teammate. That was Sewell, and then once again they restart from the back under pressure. Hewitt just kept them honest.
That's one thing that's quite noticeable in the second half. Hume City did get stuck with turning the ball over pretty cheaply in midfield. They're looking to move it a bit quicker and get those balls over the top into the channels a little bit more to get past the Bentleigh press.
Alexander again goes round the corner. Well spotted, well read, well picked. And clear. So end to end at the moment. It's a thumping game. The intensity's just ramping up, Chris Gleeson.
Well, it definitely is, and I think Bingham had the opportunity to stay to his feet then, but realised the ball was past him trying to get the foul. It's Lazaridis up in the air. Lazaridis. Now Lazaridis again looking for Cooper. Chases after it, but Webster in the end just puts it out for a throw. And we'll stay on the attack, Blakey.
Gee whiz, I'll tell you what, that wind is really now starting to ramp up. I just saw a cow spiralling through the air and over the ground. It's blowing down the ground towards the end to your right of screen. So it's favouring Hume City.
As the ball goes out for Hume corner, Dover had to deal with it at the back post.
How many devices you got going there at once? You're pretty good at that.
Yeah, I got a couple, mate.
I've got a notepad. Hume City corner, and the breeze just falls away ever so quickly. Here it comes again. Hewitt with the corner. He'll try the right foot out swinger. Goes right into the red zone. Bentleigh Green's clear. Fetching on the run. Lazaridis, and it balloons over the bar.
Well, that's a great opportunity there for Lazaridis, who can hit them from distance, but got underneath that one. Looks like Hume City will be looking to change things up with Andy Brennan getting readied on the sidelines in front of us.
Oh, you're all over it, Chris Gleeson. Good job tonight. You're the best in the business. Good to see you smile. You were smiling at me the first half, and I thought it was one of those I'm going to punch you right in the arm smiles. But now that was a real one. Good on you. And as you predicted, Brennan is taking off the top and getting ready to rev his engine and check into the contest. Cooper will come out.
So Cooper's found a bit of form this year. He had a big goal drought for most of last year, but he's hit the ground running. He's got a couple of goals already. It's pretty close to a best in ground performance last week against the Melbourne Knights, but Andon Brennan has had some good cameos off the bench so far this season. He's going to get a little bit more time to try to impress Nick Hegarty and get into this starting lineup.
Not sure. I just wonder what you can read into this one tonight, this game, in terms of the context of the season. Bouncing ball just took a bit of a clip off a leg, and He'll get his first touch of the game for Brennan. But away. Still, it's neck and neck right now. It's
different proposition Andy Brennan's going to have to this Bentleigh backline. He's strong, direct, and a quick runner where Cooper's been pretty skillful with these little flicks and tricks and tries to play a little bit different, these two. Of course, both were teammates at Green Gully a couple of years ago.
So it is a scoreless game. FV live streaming tonight, Saturday Night Lights, round 5 action. And a rampaging Hume City at the moment, having their wings clipped somewhat. Says one thing though, Bentleigh Greens, it's their 5th game of the campaign. They've only conceded 2 along the way, and they're holding Hume, who've been fairly prolific this year. So that's something you can tick. That's a box you can tick for Bentleigh Greens at this point.
The game is very similar to that Community Shield that ended 0-0 after the 90 minutes and went to penalties, where both sides didn't give up too much in the chance of opportunities to really test the goalkeeper.
They go down like 9 pins and off we go again. That's Bentleigh Greens on the move. Toe poke away by Monaghan, the captain for Hume City. Out and around, and the long ball was wasteful. They're going to turn over again. So a lot of the footy being played in that middle third of the ground. Both sides defensively locking down. They'll lose some meterage on the exchange, but Yankovic forces it forward. But in the end, just gave it away way too easily. Wilson over half field, long loft by Brennan. Charging in again, but a great take by Lopez. Got a bit of a leap on him. He probably has to. He's only about 3'5". He's not big.
We were calling him the cat in the Community Shield. How he just springs up out of nowhere and has got this massive leap that you don't expect.
That you don't expect. Rumbling downfield. Lazaridis again. Well, he faked the change of direction, but his delivery was not as you might have hoped. What is that design? Look at it, the goalkeeper Weir. Look at him. What is that? Trying to work out. It's kind of yellow with splotches on it. I'm not a fashionista.
Yeah, it's got this real digital type looking print on it.
Digital print. That's beautifully played, Chrissy. It's a digital print.
Oh, it definitely stands out. It's sort of back to the early 90s where you had these real colourful...
It is. Socceroos had a top like that.
The spew shirt.
Well, Hey, well, I suppose we're in Broadie. Everybody understand that reference. Oh, dear. So the new man on. Brennan, unsure, had to detour, goes short and inboard. I'm not sure what Brown was thinking about then. So they're still around that periphery, the front third, and they're just not getting anywhere. Neither side, Chris. Neither side.
It's been a pretty good game apart from the final third for both sides. There's no shortage of goals in the other game. Avondale, the Avengers, in complete control. Half-time 4-1 against the Knights, who season has gone from bad to worse.
Holy moly. Which is a crying shame if you're an old NSL man like me. Melbourne Knights were...
Well, who would have thought at this stage of the year that St Albans would be the better performing out of the Croatian clubs, with Dandy City and Melbourne Knights near the foot of the table?
Absolutely no one, Chris.
Just shows that us probably don't know much.
Oh, listen, I worked that out. Listen, I'll go on record saying I haven't got a clue most of the time. And I think a lot of people would attest to that. Lopez with the belter just sits in the breeze, comes down and it hit a piece of space junk. It went that high. Alexander goes to ground. So we're just in a bit of a stalemate at the moment. Even the physicality's kind of ebbed out of the game. It's cold and it's windy and it's ABD and it's all floodlit. It's all pretty. And the scoreboard still reads Hume City 0, Bentleigh Greens 0. The footy replaced about 2 metres back.
It's been a pretty engaging contest though between the both sides.
They're like together like two big old bears having a wrestle right now. Neither of them are going to concede ground. Bentleigh Greens would love, I think, a result here and continue this remarkable run in home and away footy against Hume City. Turned clear. That was a long woof down the ground by Lazaridis. Turned over again. Here he pops up a little bit. Bentleigh Greens trying to manoeuvre something. O'Conus step inside onto his right, drives it. It hit the wind pocket and it flew away and away and away, and it was never close. So another not even half chance, Chris.
It seems like Micah Weir is standing behind that big wind wall, protecting the balls that are flying towards his goal. So O'Conus hit that with plenty of power, but it was always going to curve away.
I think my lips are frozen together. It's freezing up here. I think we do need to cuddle at some point. That's for survival purposes. It's getting very cold. The wind's still whistling down ABD Stadium on this Saturday night. Hume City football hitting Hope into the air by Wilson. Again, a turnover. Gee, there's been a fair bit of exchange of footy. Dover hits the ground running. Square ball. Top of the box. All to ground. Lambateridis, unsure. Was going nowhere against Bowler, who just said, nah, not happening. Brennan keeps the ball inboard. Angles inside. Looks for support. Saw support, but gave it away.
It's a good break on there for Hume City, but the pass to Brennan just forced him a bit wider, and then he couldn't find the pass himself. So as you said, this is the final third breaking down, but Hume has a chance.
Oh, here we go. And the lofted ball. Alexander front of the pack. Back of the pack, though, was Bingham. And that is the go-ahead second half. And Bingham over the back. He rose majestically over Alexander. Got the clean header. Just wide of the grasping hands of Lopez. And there you go.
Well, that's why they brought him to the club. Big Bingham at the back post. The big number 9 jumped highest, and a powerful header past Lopez. And Hume City, well, they've had the perfect season so far. They've weathered the storm in the first half, and they've taken the lead here at ABD Stadium.
So, a goal on... now, have you got the clock on that one, Mr. Gleeson?
I'm going to have to...
I'll tell you what, the ground announcer was pretty excited. So Bingham gets the goal. That was a magnificent duel. Alexander, he's stocky and tough and big-bodied, but once he got in the aerial duel, Bingham was just bigger and bolder and over the back of the pack, and he's got the header inside the post.
There you go. Well, it's 65 minutes. It's just ticked over now in this game. Still plenty of time for Bentleigh to get back into this game, but Hume City, in a game that hasn't had too many opportunities, Bingham was there to deliver. That's why they brought the big number 9 to this club. Problem they've had the last couple of years of having a regular scorer from a striker to hold the ball up and finish off hit chances like that, but he's got his second goal for the season after scoring against Green Gully a few weeks back.
Indeed, so Josh Bingham with what may be the most important goal of this particular game as Hume City, their supporters are up, and even though they're probably freezing as well, they are up and in full voice now, as they should be. A 5-0 start to the year. Hume City, that's impressive stuff. Bentleigh Greens at the corner at the tree-lined end. Awkward away, never looked dangerous. Hooked upfield by Bowler for Brennan, been busy. The square ball was picked off perfectly. Beakhurst. Bentleigh Greens, they're going to counter-punch. Beakhurst continues to run, got a toe to it and off the defender. I think that, I'm not even sure, I think it was Tennant.
Yeah, it was Hayden Tennant once again putting his body on the line. Michael Weir came out. He wasn't going to get to it in the end and realised quite late, but full commitment from the young Hayden Tennant, who's had an excellent season so far for Hume City, and is a big reason why they've only conceded 2 goals in their 4.5 games so far.
Well, it's start. I reckon that opens. That gets the genie out of the bottle, that goal, because Bentleigh Greens know full well you might as well lose 10-0 as 1-0, so let's go for it. Alexander lofts one, hot spot, danger zone. Everybody was camped in that 6-yard box. They lead by 1 to Hume City. Bentleigh Greens, of course, are never out of the contest. How about that? Hume City, they whacked Altona Magic on opening day. They've taken down Green Gully. They took down Dandenong City. They whacked Melbourne Knights last week, and they're about to make it 5 if they can hang on here. Oh, danger, and that might be the... No, it's not quite. It went winging its way towards the top far corner. But
well, I think Michael Weir might be in trouble here because he did foul the player coming through,
yes,
and that is a clear goal-scoring opportunity. So the referee's got a big decision to make here.
Well, he backed himself, didn't he? And it may well be a gamble that he'll regret. Right now he's down on the deck. He's clutching his knee, his leg. It's really hard to tell.
Just going to wait to see what the referee's doing. I have a feeling he might have paid a foul here to Bentleigh. So
just to recap, Josh Bingham on 65 with the only goal of the game at ABD tonight. But certainly they've taken, I reckon, the handbrakes off now, and we're going to be full throttle for the rest of the game. Hope he's okay. So we're getting treated there.
Looks like he's getting the magic spray on the shin guard.
Okay, he's got a broken shin guard or maybe a lacerated sock, but I reckon he's going to be okay.
Morris Luna, one of the best in the businesses, as the referee is talking to Michael Weir at the moment. Big decision might come of this.
Well, they're having quite a discussion.
Well, it's no foul given whatsoever, and just a goal kick, it seems.
I think they was just having a chat where they were going for a dinner after down in Broady tonight. It's the best eateries in Broady.
Well, the best eatery, I reckon, is here at the Hume City Kitchen. The kebabs here are brilliant.
You are quite right. There's some good tucker here at ABD.
A few of the Bentleigh players are a bit disappointed that a foul wasn't given. They believe that Michael Weir found the Bentleigh player as he was trying to clear it. And the way the referee came over to Michael Weir and stood over him, I thought, well, maybe he might be in a bit of trouble here, but
I don't think you stand over him. He's too tall. Launches a rocket downfield. The breeze drops away just for a moment. Bentleigh Greens, what have they got in them? Back spinner by Sewell into almost an open lane. They come swarming. Great twist out of trouble by McGrath. I'm not sure who that was. I know who that is. And that's the diminutive Beakhurst, and that took a cannon, and they'll get the corner. So they're coming back, they're counter punching. They've still got a little bit in them.
They're going to have their star striker who had ankle surgery in the off-season as Matt Thurtell. He was on the bench last week, but he's got a bit of time to try to create. And Damien Iconis, who come across from Kingston City with his manager, will be replacing him. So on comes Thurtell. He's caused many of an NPL defence plenty of problems in the past. One of the great goal-scoring record in NPL Victoria is Thurtell.
Well, cometh the hour, cometh the man, and Thurtell might be able to produce something in a 1-0 game. Hume City lead it. And, well, that was worth a hit anyway. Kieran Dover, you get it a whack. My nose is I can't feel my nose now, Chris. It's a long nose too. It's really cold up here.
Just wait till June, July.
Oh.
Wait till then.
Yeah, don't worry about that. I'll have something to bear. I've got something on that weekend.
Even then, our cameraman pulls out the jacket when you get to June, July.
Oh dear, is he all right up there? He's what's the?
Well, the camera's moving side to side, so maybe he's just got that range of movement
It could
in
be
his
just
fingers, and that's
could be
it.
just his frozen form hanging on desperately to the camera to try and stay up. It's very, very cold. It is very, very cold. It's a 1-0 game. It's not cold there down in the theatre of battle. Josh Bingham on 65, breaking the game open. Hume City looking to make it a clean sweep to start the season. 5 straight wins. Who'd have thought? I told you, I said you before, Chris, I reckon we got a look into a time portal. Doherty Cup final last year, they managed to break that 2-club nexus of Heidelberg and Bentleigh Greens. Who knew that was just a taster, wasn't it?
Well, you look at how successful Heidelberg and Bentleigh have been in recent years, and that's because they've pretty much had the core experienced stable squad where both sides have had mass turnovers.
Lazaridis span out of trouble, and he's creating a nuisance for himself. I like this. He's playing well, Lazaridis. Brennan spinning away, ballet like it was genteel and beautiful. Brown. Oh, this is dangerous. They're up by 1, looking for 2, and the back heel was too smart by half from Bowler, and Bentleigh Greens come like a tidal wave the other way. Dover tries to hit it into a path. Thurtell, first touch off the bench. Always dangerous. Alexander backs himself, drives towards the line, draws it back. Beakhurst waits, prowls, lofts it. Danger zone, and the header way over the target from Sewell. Hey, that was promising though.
It was definitely promising and a great opportunity, but said Sewell with that header just couldn't direct a goal. Well, that's the difference. Just look at Bingham, who has that presented with an opportunity like that, and he buries it, and Sewell puts it over the top as Kieran Dover will be withdrawn, and James Exidius will come into the lineup.
So, second trip to the Pine for Bentleigh Greens as they try to catapult their way back into the game. We don't have a clock, so I'm just guessing, but I reckon about 15 or so minutes left.
Yeah, we're at around the 73-minute mark, Blakey, where we're sort of at a disadvantage where everybody on the stream can see the clock,
and we
can't.
can't.
The grandstand can see the scoreboard.
Well,
we're right next to it. So
well, social media, just get on, tell us what time it is, will you? It doesn't matter. Time's ethereal when you're watching a struggle like this one at ABD. Oh, what a great turn by Beakhurst. He went inside, swiveled, and then drove outside Bentleigh Greens, working it forward. Sewell. Hume City, they're up by 1. They get the footy back. Got to work it out of the back half. Traversing the half line was Bowler, and bang, he goes down. Lambardaridis, nothing apologetic about that. He just went whack. So it's a free kick to Hume City. They'll be happy with that. They get the footy back and they take a little bit off the clock. I'd love to ice it. But any win against Bentleigh Greens, I'll tell you what, there's a drought breaker, isn't it, Chris? 2015 was the last time they won a game against the Bentleigh Greens in anything other than cup competitions. Launched into the air.
That's it. In the league, it's just been a total dominance for Bentleigh. But
Really has. It's funny how teams can just get that, that can own another one for a period of time with a run like that.
And to get to the quarterfinals of the FFA Cup last year, Hume City, they had to get past Bentleigh in the Cup at ABD last year with George Howard, who only 2 goals for the whole season. Well, for half the season he played at Hume City, with it enough to see him through.
James Brown is back there. He's very measured, controls the football. Yeah, happy to keep possession right now.
It's been quite good work from Hume City until that touch from Brown.
Alexander goes to ground. It's a challenge of Brown. Actually, that cup run last year, I'll talk to you about it in a minute. We'll go with the play, long and high, foot race, arm wrestle, and in the end the ball pops out of play. It's going to be Bentleigh Greens' ball. You're talking about that cup run last year. I also recall them beating Heidelberg at Heidelberg 5-4. I thought that night these boys have got a bit of traction about them, and as you mentioned, they beat Bentleigh Greens in that cup run as well. And again, perhaps we were just seeing the future.
It was turning back the clock for Theo Marcalis that night. Got a couple of goals for Hume at Olympic Village, and it was another big win for them last year where they knocked off Heidelberg at the Village as well in the league. So,
well, I think as Brennan goes, holy moly, I don't know where he's heading with that one.
Just put it up and the wind did the rest. It blew to the car park.
It was beautiful. It was like a Sputnik across the horizon. But this would be one that they will enjoy, Hume City, as the clock ticks down to break that drought against Bentleigh Greens. To start the season with 5 consecutive wins, they'll be feeling very good about themselves pressing forward, as they should actually. And then, of course, they've got Eastern Lions next week, which it's not it just comes and spectacular, really. He just sat on the back of the pack a la Aussie rules and took the grab in his big broad chest as a player down. And not looking particularly healthy. He's copped the wrath of Michael Weir, I think.
Yeah.
That's going to hurt.
Oh yeah, that's quite a hard one. But
and
speaking of hard, so if you look at the run that Bentleigh have in the next few weeks, they've got Avondale at home, Heidelberg away, Oakley at home, and then they get Altona away. Where Hume City, it really opens up for them. As you said, Eastern Lions next week, Port Melbourne at home after that. Dandenong Thunder away, which is going to be
that's a tough one. Don't worry about that.
Match up with the way the Thunder are playing, and then Hume have the surprise pack at St Albans after that. So they will really back themselves to keep this run going.
And I'm prepared right now because you want to polarise people. I'm going to put a line through Bentleigh Greens for the season.
Are you really?
Not really. I don't know what I'm talking about. Nobody takes that stuff seriously.
The next month is going to be so important.
It is. It's
going to
big
go up against the heavyweights.
Yep.
They have, but as a gang, they've played pretty well, but they just can't seem to string these wins together.
Well,
it's the run they've had at the moment.
It's the goal scoring that's troubling them at this point of the season. They got the 3 at Eastern Lions on opening day, but since then it's been 1-0. This will be their 3rd straight game without a goal, and that is most un-Bentleigh Greens like.
It's great to see Paul Wilson pick himself up and be able to return to the play. Bingham looks for Brennan. And Brennan. Pass left it a bit short for Bowler, who tried to reel it in, but Bentleigh get it back as they start the attack.
Well, it may be time right now as Beakhurst with the run. Alexander losing angle all the time. Sliding tackle from Dixon was successful and the ball out of play.
Well, it was one of those ones where he pretty much had to take it first time. As soon as he took the touch, he forced himself a bit too wide. And Hume said he were able to deal with it.
Well, it hasn't been a Saturday night that you'd write across the sky about, but it has been a Saturday night of some intensity. And it ain't over till it's over. But right now, Hume City are declaring themselves rightful favourites in 2020. And those raucous fans over there, they'll be enjoying this victory if they can keep the Bentleigh Greens in their pocket till very late tonight, I reckon.
Alexander gets it back. And then Battaridis into midfield. Crooks has done well to slide for a few challenges. In fact, it was Corey Sewell. Now Exidius, the fresh man for the Bentleigh Greens. Hume have got all their players back in the defensive half, trying to protect this 1-0 lead, which will see him get a bit of a break on top. Over the top. Chance here, Weir smothers it. As Bentleigh try to get it back. McGrath with the opportunity. Now they'll try to break with Bingham. Once again, Michael Weir has just misjudged that a little bit where the wind held it up and he wasn't able to get to the ball in time. Stephen Hewitt steps on the ball and loses out to Alexander, who's been everywhere tonight. Here go the Bentleigh Greens again with a long-range shot, which is always travelling wide from Battaridis.
And that's what they've been essentially reduced to for most of the night, is actually trying to power shots in from all sorts of angles and downtown. And credit Hume City, they've just kept it at arm's length, you know, the old don't argue. Impressive again, Hume City.
It's really been this partnership of Hayden Tennant and Paul Wilson, who played pretty much all of last year together as that partnership, and so far this year they've got a great understanding with each other. And Paul Wilson, only in his early 20s, come across from Adelaide United's youth system to come to the biggest competition, NPL competition in Australia, in Victoria, to try to see if he can get back into a professional system. And he's definitely one of these, probably one of the best centre-backs in the league. Heidelberg's another one with Lachlan Barr, who's had an excellent staff, both coming from South Australia. And
well, they'd be glad to get out of there, wouldn't they? They'd be West End for beer, apparently. It's a terrible, terrible place. So Bentleigh Greens on the move again, but going absolutely nowhere. Late in the game, they got a squeak in them. Who knows? Been a good game. I'm freezing. I've got no idea what I'm saying right now, Chris. Knocked out of play. It's going to be a Bentleigh Greens ball. I need some sort of central heating system. Hans with us tonight. she had the umbrella for us last week. If I go and find me a heater, will you? Third cell swept it through the middle.
It'll be great to have Han in part of the commentary team coming in the next few weeks.
She's good. She's a talent. She's terrific. She's only about 2 foot tall, but she's a little titan.
Umit Buzdugwan is going to be the new man to come on for Hume City.
So again, you guys at home on the FV live stream have got the clock. We're just speculating. So hang on, the referee's coming over to... He's brandished the yellow card.
Well, Bingham was taking his sweet time to get off the field.
Oh, come on, really so? Josh Bingham has saunters over to come. He's done a shift, and what has he done? He's got the only goal of the game. The number 9. He looks like a bushranger too, doesn't he?
He does. He's sort of fell into Hume City's laps a little bit. He spent a bit of time with the Central Coast, and he's come down here to be closer to a family member near Sunbury. So Hume is one of the closest clubs, and pretty much fell on Hume City's back door.
So Josh Bingham with the only goal of the game, getting a rest, and done his job tonight as the monkey of Bentleigh Greens might be off their back. Sprinting is Brennan. He reached the ball, but it just bounced away from him. And it's going to be Bentleigh Greens to reload.
It's taken a deflection, so
it has.
Get the corner.
I'll be happy with that. So it's a 1-0 game. It must be getting close to time. I know you're going for the clock there, Chrissy. So just waiting for the corner. Is anybody at all want to take the corner? Is it just
84 minutes gone.
So 84 minutes now, 85 and 86 as Hume City finally elect or nominate Hewitt to go down and take the corner at that northern end of ABD Stadium on a Saturday night. Oh boy, we are going to hit the town tonight. Get the glow sticks out, Broady. I'll never see the likes of it again. Yes. Alexander launches a right footer and it loops and bounces its way out of play. I think the urgency now, Bentleigh Greens are aware that the time is very much against them, as you pointed out, into the last 5, the deep, dark depths of this round 5 game. Squeezed down the line and hooked up field. Oh, McGrath. Just a little waiting game then. And it will arrive at a play.
Michael, we thought, or maybe it's not going to creep over the line.
Yeah, you sort of, oh dear. So time very much now favouring the Red Army, the Red Brigade. Listen to them, Chris, they're getting mighty excited.
Just 4 or 5 minutes plus stoppage time to hold on to this lead.
I doubt there'll be too much stoppage time. So Josh Bingham with the only goal to separate these two.
It looks like young Gavin O'Reilly is getting ready to come on for Bentleigh. Assume to have another attack through Brown. Maybe touch there from Brennan Pinball, and Bentleigh eventually get it clear. Alexander. Here with numbers, Buzdugan.
Oh dear. Well, Yankovic has sent Hewitt up. He went about 3 foot in the air then.
He did. It was a very frustrating challenge, to say the least, from Yankovic. And
it was spectacular from Hewitt. He's come down on his backside. He actually bounced when he hit the ground. That's how high up he was.
Bentleigh do make that change with Matthew Crooks, another South Australian, onto the bench with young O'Reilly, Gavin O'Reilly.
Is it O'Reilly or just O'Reilly?
That was just me shivering a little bit.
It's terrible. It is really cold up here now. So, Hume City, they are just minutes away from breaking a 6-year drought against Bentleigh Greens in home and away competition. But not only that, they will walk away once again outright leaders in the NPL here in Victoria in 2020. So they're just going to try and hold the footy. Bowler goes over the top. Brennan's been busy since he's checked into the game. Span out of the challenge, runs deep to the line, pulls a 90-degree turn. Oh, look at this Hewitt and Bowler again, and he decks it right up on the corner flag, and he'll bounce away. So Bentleigh Greens, just a couple of minutes, I reckon, to play with here. We're going to watch the fourth official. Where is he? He's somewhere, isn't he? Just to see him.
Chat to Nick Tolios at the moment is the fourth official.
So 3 consecutive games for Bentleigh Greens without troubling the scoreboard. That is a concern.
It definitely is a concern, mate. Brett McGrath, the star striker at the start of the season, well, he's got 3 already. Beakhurst the other one, but only those 4 goals been scored, and as you said, 3 of them were round 1 against the Lions.
Well, is there a late chap to be written in this drama? Bentleigh Greens firing the cylinders right at the death. And they'll get a corner. We'll just keep an eye on the fourth official. I reckon there can only be a minute or 2 on this one on the clock. We're very, very deep in regulation. Alexander with the corner. Cometh the hour, cometh the man, cometh the time. Bentleigh Greens for so long. One of the big dogs of the competition. They got something here, far post, and the header went rocketing across the goal face. So there was a moment, and there was an hour, and there was a time, but there wasn't a goal, and that may well be just about the last roll of the dice for the boys from Kingston Heath.
See, well, Corey Sauls had 2 free headers in this second half and hasn't been able to direct them goalward.
Let's just look at a tad off the pace, don't they, Ben? This is most un-Bentleigh Greens, like both the run and the performance. They've been in the contest, but they haven't really threatened to break it open at any time. Hume City lead it by 1. We keep a keen eye to see how much stoppage time. There won't be a lot. Brennan beaten by Webster to the punch. Oh. Well, there's no doubt they're still clamouring for the football. Both sides. Knocked upfield by Hewitt, who's copped a couple of whacks tonight, the number 10. So where do we rate Hume City from what we've seen, Chrissy? Because I reckon they're all right.
Well, they're definitely in the conversation for the Premiers to finish the league season on top. They're obviously leading the league early in the season already, but they're showing their credentials coming from behind to beat Dandenong City, and now what they're doing to Bentleigh Greens as Brown is offside. But
so the fourth official is 5 minutes of time added on. That's a fair old slab. Chris, where did that come from?
Just a couple of those little injury breaks, but Bentleigh will be quite happy with this as Alexander trying to find an angle to cross. Always wants to get back on that left foot. Didn't really have the angle to get it into the box, and Hume deal with it again.
Bentleigh Greens would have looked across at that board and gone, hang on a minute, we're still a show here. 300 seconds. That's plenty of time to conjure something. The Bentleigh Greens on the road as Alexander's going to take the throw. Deep attacking territory, left lane. Lofts it, it sits. Yankovic made a run at it. They'll keep the footy. He's been terrific, Alexander. The cut back into the danger zone, but they have all the answers. Hume City, top of the ladder, kingpins. Kings of the jungle right now. Webster, the skipper, belts it long. 5 minutes of time added on. We've eaten up a slab of that already. Bentleigh Greens, though. Here they come. Not giving it away. Yankovic in the air. Oh, my Lord. But Hume City will clear again.
It's a lovely touch from Brennan.
Brown, round the corner ball. Brennan. Flag stays down. Cheeky back heel. Brown. And it started winging its way over the mark very early on, but it was a good counter punch.
Well, Nick Delios shows he's still got it. Hoofing the ball from halfway to his goalkeeper.
I need a thermal blanket up here. It's really cold. 5 minutes is punishing, isn't it? Bentleigh Greens, so they got something at the other end. Thurtell was lurking and just skewed out of play by Tennant. Well, it's on. They haven't stopped that. Press the last gasp button, the Bentleigh Greens, in stoppage time.
They've been getting to these headers in these set pieces, just haven't been able to direct a goal. But as you saw Yankovic jump over the top before, so dangerous moment for Hume. As it goes into the near post. Bit of pinball. Hume should get it clear, and they do through Lazaridis. Shouts from the Hume crowd. It's just a bit of miscommunication, which is going to get Bentleigh to hoof it back in towards the box.
Is there a miracle to happen for Bentleigh Greens? I don't think so. You know, the one thing is James Brown tracks that one down and traverses the half line and scampers past the defender. He'll just hold the footy and run it deep. It's the two number 8s, and they bumped and rumbled all the way down the sideline. Bentleigh Greens ball. I reckon they're aware now that the sands of time are falling through the hourglass very, very quickly. The one thing is they haven't raised a sweat, have they, Hume City? They've just looked really accomplished and untroubled, despite the Bentleigh Greens being one of the big hitters of the comp. Ball out of play. That is surely...
We're going to have this really time-wasting substitution, Mark Hodgson.
Yes, they are.
Be the one to
And let's look at them, the Hume City supporters. They are as happy as clams right now. They'll be breaking open bottles of their own bathwater tonight. They'll be happy about this.
Oh, definitely they will be. But one final moment here for Bentleigh Greens to try to get the latest of late equalisers. Beakhurst leaves it short and Lazaridis clears it.
The referee's whistle went. I think the crowd thought that was the final whistle. Got to be just about all she wrote on this one on a Saturday night. Hume City up by 1 and sitting proudly at the top of the NPL ladder here in Victoria. Backpedaling, Webster tried to launch a raid, pummeled away. Look at him, he's mean and lean still, isn't he? Alexander's had a great game. Angles it down that left lane line. Is there something to be conjured from this? Beakhurst puts it in the air, bouncing, dangerous ball. The ref blows the whistle for a free kick. Oh Lord, just enough to keep your heart from seizing up. That was. They're not going to give it up. They just don't have. Do you know what I mean, Chrissy? They're not giving it up, but they haven't got anything left in the tank.
Well, you and me have definitely been cold up here on the scaffolding, but Michael Weir hasn't had much to do tonight. He'd be just as cold in the Hume City Gold.
Oh dear. So Weir stabs at that one, and finally the curtain comes down on. Well, it was a blockbuster, but it wasn't a barn burner. It was a big old game, but it didn't reach any great heights. It was well contested. It was hard fought, but in the end, Hume City have said, we're here, we're going nowhere. We're top of the ladder, and thanks to Josh Bingham on 65, they sit proudly atop the NPL ladder here in Victoria in 220, and there ain't no stopping them right now. They've got the momentum, and as I said before, they look polished, they look accomplished, Chris.
Well, definitely the benchmark over the first 5 weeks of the season. It is quite a long season though, but as you see Nick Hegarty putting the turf back together, he does everything here at Hume City. There's the star manager who's had a great job so far, but Hume City, fantastic performance once again, showing their credentials of being definitely in the hunt for the titles again this year. And Greg, it's been a pleasure to join you tonight here on Broady Valley Park.
I'm just wondering, how does hypothermia feel? It's cold.
That's it. Well, we do appreciate everybody who's stuck with us for the stream, and we hope you have a great Saturday night, and good night.